Always commenting on or liking a person's picture.
Liking and commenting are two separate entities. I'm sorry
Okay.
here.
For sure.
Liking is not the same thing as commenting. And like, I know many people are going to say you could like with your eyes and you don't have to like with your fingers. But for me, there's nothing wrong with liking pictures.
A bikini pic, everything?
I don't care. No.
Why? Why don't you care?
Because I just don't see there a problem. Like, you're already following them. So it's not like you're not seeing the pic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
but the problem is communicating the fact that you like the picture to that person.
But it's Instagram. Like, everyone does it. Like, it's like, if I have the rule of like my man is not allowed to like a pic, then the same rules should apply. Then I shouldn't be posting bikini pics. That's how I see it. Because the same way I'm posting bikini pics, I'm essentially getting likes from other men. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's hypocritical to be like, by the way, like, you can't like other girls that you're already following. You can't like their pics. But also, I'm going to post bikini pics and like I'm also receiving likes from other men. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like it's hypocritical.
I see your point of view. Chemical X. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Chemical X podcast. It's your girl, Veronica.
And your other girl, Alessia.
And if you haven't already, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave us a comment down below, and rate us 5 stars on our audio platforms. And also, just to throw in there, guys, a couple of weeks ago, we launched our merch collection. So if you haven't checked it out already, head on to chemicalxpodcast.com and get yourself a very cute cap like the one I'm wearing right now. It's distressed trucker cap. We also have a baseball cap. So head on and get yourself one as well. So this week, we have an interesting topic because I feel like we always talk about like what's cheating, what's not cheating, what do we consider as cheating, and there's so many little things that I feel like, especially when you're in a long-term relationship, that it's hurtful and you want to say it's like
cheating,
it's bad and like it's almost cheating, but it's like not quite cheating.
Yeah, like it dances the line of cheating,
right? So you can't like attack someone and be like, you're cheating on me, but it's definitely not right.
I feel like anything that's considered micro cheating is probably something you don't probably feel comfortable to like attack them on right away, but you're going to talk to your girls about this and be like, do you think this is normal?
You're definitely going to think about it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about this week, guys, is micro cheating. So it's basically, self-explanatory, but just like little things that are not big enough to be considered like actual cheating, but are definitely crossing a line.
Yeah, like in the grand scheme of things, if these things are going on in your relationship, then it's probably something worrisome.
For sure. And it's definitely things like every point on this list is stuff that I would not want my partner doing.
Yeah, you know what's really tough is that the list we're going to go through, there are certain ones that I don't know if I necessarily consider cheating. And that's the thing, like micro cheating to one person can be completely different to someone else. Like, it really depends the relationship you have.
Yeah.
And normally it starts with how it begun. The micro cheating, especially in the dating stage, you normally see that these things are kind of going on. You're not blindsided at the beginning. Then the more you start loving them, then you're like, wait, is this normal?
Right.
Because at the beginning, you're like, well, we're just dating. Like, is this like, I guess, he's maybe not taking the relationship as serious, or it's fresh, it's new, like whatever. He's just flirting, like, but then,
I also think that micro cheating is really easy to make excuses for. Like, it's very easy to be like, it's not that deep. Like, so we're going to go through the list. And you guys can make your own opinions on whether you think this is micro cheating or not. And the tough things is that it's like, it's not necessarily cheating. Like, we're agreeing that it's not cheating, that these points are not necessarily cheating, but it's micro cheating. And it's like a little piece of cheating.
Yeah.
It's on its way.
Let's dive right into them.
Okay. So number 1 on the list is secretly messaging someone. Okay. And it's tough, like, in this instant, because
what's
obviously
the context?
It depends what the messaging is. But my argument is like, even if it's like not bad, even if you're just friendly with the person or there's nothing wrong going on, the fact that you feel the need to do it behind my back and hide it is what tells me there's something wrong.
But wait,
there.
is it being hidden though.
Yeah, it's secretly messaging
It's
someone.
secretly messaging somebody. The thing is with this is it gets really tough because what if you had like friends before that, you know, before you got in a relationship and it's like, yeah, like you're not necessarily like jumping out of the gate to tell your partner like I'm messaging them, but you're friends. Like, does it count if you're friends with?
Well, I don't think it's about not telling them. I think it's about actively hiding the messages. So like, let's say your partner tells you like, hey, like it would really make me feel uncomfortable if, let's say, you're still talking to this person you used to, you know, have a thing with or whatever, or whoever it is that makes them uncomfortable. And then they like communicate that to you, but then you still go behind their back and do it and kind of hide the messages. Even though they're friendly, I still think it's a form of micro cheating because that person communicated to you, they didn't want you to talk to that person.
I remember in my last relationship, okay, we had a guest on the podcast and like my partner didn't want me messaging them, but it's like I had to in order to get them on the podcast.
Right.
Like, I knew that I needed to do that. So I think like I was a little bit secretive about it because I didn't want to make it a thing because I knew it would bother him. But it's like, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
So this weekend I was out and I was wearing my 18 karat gold earrings. You know, someone gave me a hug. One of my earrings went somewhere unknown. And now I lost them. I'm so upset. But I have a replacement pair, which is EveryJewels, which are way cuter than the ones I have. And I know that if I lose them, they're affordable. I can rebuy them.
100%. And you're also not going to be on your hands and knees in the middle of the club with your flashlight.
And they're not as cute. These have a diamond at the top. The other ones were just regular hoops.
Regular degulars.
Yeah.
And guys, if you also want to have some cute, super affordable jewelry that is waterproof, it does not tarnish, so you can wear it just the same way that you wear your real gold jewelry, head on to EveryJewels and use our discount code
Chemical X at checkout to receive 20% off your entire order. So Chemical X at checkout for 20% off. Certain things sometimes that's like job related that you tell them to like not do that, but it's kind of hard. Like, yeah, if you're messaging a girl and you're trying to get nudes out of them, like 100% cheating. But I think this one's tough because it depends.
The example you just gave, though, I feel like is the only exception for like, okay, well, it makes sense why you had to do that.
What do you mean? What if, for example, you're going and buy like, I don't know, like this world is so small. There's so many connections that'll have you maybe messaging some like.
But like secretly, for me, secretly is like deleting the messages, hiding them. And like, I understand in the context of what you're saying, like you kind of had to talk to that person in order to get them on the podcast. That's fair. But I think in any other case, like if you'd be messaging someone that you're not supposed to, not for work, let's say, I think it's definitely wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it really depends what it is though.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's like a one-time thing or like, it's just to get an answer out of something or a question, then it's fine. I
still don't think it's fine because for me, even if it's friendly, the fact alone that you feel the need to hide the messages tells me that you know you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. The secretive part, it's weird. Because like if your boyfriend writes something that's funny, I'll write and I'll answer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like but it's not shady.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like sometimes it's like it's fine if it's friends. Like
of course. Or anyone. It's just if you feel the need to hide it, that's where I go, well, you know you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, but don't you feel like sometimes like people hide it because it's actually not a big deal? And the reason they're hiding it is because they know it's going to be a big deal if they mention it.
I think in an unhealthy relationship, I think there's definitely relationships where you're like, I'm hiding talking to my sister or because...
But or like, for example, like a girl's like, you can't talk to any girls or whatever, but it's like...
It's my colleague.
They're being secretive, but because they have no choice.
I think, and that I understand, but definitely, again, I think it's like not the normal scenario.
For sure.
You know? But yeah, no, fuck. If you're in a...
Yeah.
You know, I've had relationships where I couldn't talk to anybody. So, you know, my dad texted me, I had to delete the message. I don't think in that case it counts. So, number 2, meeting with someone without your partner knowing. And I'm going to go ahead and say, obviously, of the opposite sex. Like...
Okay, you're so narrow-minded.
Well, no, I'm saying like not just like they met up with a buddy and you're like cheating.
With somebody that you can potentially see.
Just meeting up with somebody without you knowing. Like let's say, you know, you find out your boyfriend went out for drinks with like his girl colleague, but like didn't tell you.
Right.
That's fucking weird for me.
Yeah.
I think in general, like in a relationship, and I think in a healthy
But what
relationship,
if there was like a lot of people there? Would it be excusable if he didn't tell you right away?
I think, why are you not telling me? Because
No, but I'm saying, like, let's say after work he like left and they were all like, okay, we're going to get drinks, and there's one specific girl that you know is gonna bother you that is there, but they're going as a group. Is it more socially acceptable that he hasn't taken the second to be like, by the way, I'm here, or like only when you speak to him is he like, I'm here? It's obviously more personal when it's one person versus a group.
Yeah.
But both not allowed.
Both not allowed. I mean, I think in a healthy relationship, you actually end up saying what you're doing all the time. Like, it's always like, hey, like, these are my plans later. And very rarely will there be a time that comes up where it's like, I do something without letting them know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
But
sometimes it'll happen.
it happens,
yeah, for
though.
sure. Sometimes it'll happen like, oh, didn't get a chance to tell you, like, I'm here.
Yeah.
But like, for it to happen with somebody that's like problematic, or like, let's say I would find out that, you know, my boyfriend met up with like this girl behind my back. Nothing happened, but I didn't know about it.
Yeah, that's fucked.
I think for me, like, that's definitely a form of microcheating. Like, for example, like a great example, I've told this story in the past, how my ex-boyfriend had met up with my cousin and I did not know about it.
Oh, I don't
for,
think
like, months.
I don't think you've ever spoke about
I
this.
did say this story.
Never.
Really?
Never.
I'm pretty sure I did on
No.
stupid shit men have told me.
No, I don't think
Maybe. Anyways, guys, let me know. Anyways, my ex-boyfriend had met up with my cousin and I didn't find out about it until months later, and nothing happened. But why is that the funniest thing?
Okay.
Guys, if you're listening on audio, I put quotation marks.
Oh my God.
Anyways, nothing happened. But the fact alone that he went behind my back and I did not know about it was enough for me to be like, what the fuck? You know you're doing something wrong.
100%.
Okay, this one I think is really interesting.
Which one?
I feel like you're going to have a good point of view on it. Well, I hope I do.
Well, I hope you like your own answer.
I don't know if I have one. Okay, number 3, complaining about your partner to another person. And the reason I'm saying I feel like I have a point of view on this, because I remember you saying a story about how, like, you know, you had found messages and you had immediately thought, like, is your ex-boyfriend, like, talking about our relationship with someone else?
Yeah.
Like, and I remember you were, like, really offended by that.
Yeah.
Like, it's all like, I don't agree, but, like,
No, I
it's
was.
fucked up.
I honestly think that that's one of the most fucked up ones.
Yeah.
Normally a guy who will do that has to talk about, you know, how the person he's with right now is so much better for them because they don't bother them on X, Y, and Z, and she's this.
It's just
and
like, I
she's
can
that.
feel way more comfortable talking to you.
And it's like the manipulation of making the girl actually feel better. But it's like when guys do that to me, by the way, I think it's because it's been done to me that when a guy does it to me, I never participate in it. And I, to be honest, always have the girl's back.
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, but she has a reason to be like that. Like, I would be the same way. Never am I taking the guy's side.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well,
and then they're taking it back. I'm like, I don't want you to feel comfortable talking shit
About your girl.
About your girl. No.
Because they're seeking like this validation and making you try to feel
But you just
special in a
look
way.
like an idiot. You look like an idiot. You're dating someone, they're a representation of you. There should be no reason to talk shit about your partner that you are still with. It only says about you and it doesn't say about your partner.
Yeah.
So it's just embarrassing.
And it just
break
tells
up
me-
with them if you
Yeah.
feel so strongly about, you know, having to like air out anything about them. I just think there's no trust there.
Yeah.
No.
And obviously this is not in a friend context. It's obviously to people like outside and like of like the opposite sex. Like if my boyfriend was talking to a girl about fights we were having in our relationship, like I would be so upset. And actually this is perfect segue into my cousin and my ex-boyfriend. He went to meet up with her to talk about like our relationship, but I was like, that is so wrong that you're doing that. That's so wrong because you're trying to do that in a way to like connect with this person that you have no business connecting with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like at the end of the day, you're choosing a family member whose loyalty should obviously be to me, regardless of whether she agrees with him or not. It doesn't matter.
Right.
The loyalty is with a family member. If you're going to talk to anybody about it, make it be your friends.
I think like
You're going to get the wrong type of person if you're using that technique to get a new girl.
Right.
You're going to get the wrong person for you.
For sure.
Because the right person is going to be like, is going to see right through that.
And I've actually seen like a lot of girls do this behind their guys' back, like talk to guys and like have like their guy friends be like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like my boyfriend did this and like he thinks this. And like, I just find that such a cheap way of trying to get attention from another guy and like trying to reel him in and thinking like maybe he has a chance, maybe something. And I feel like people do it without like consciously knowing what they're doing.
Yeah.
But it's just so fucked up. And if I would ever find out my man was doing that, like for sure, that for me is like definitely crossing a line.
I think normally that happens when the relationship starts off a little bit like a game. So you feel like even when you finally committed to each other, you got to still like let them know that they're lucky they have you. So you feel the need to have to like remind them people still want me.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what they're trying to do.
And I also think what it is planting the seed for other people. Should the relationship not work out, you have all these like people around you that you like already opened up to and are already close with without crossing the line of making it like anything more, because we're talking about you.
Yeah. And the truth is like the person you're going to go to and ask for help or like talk shit about is normally never going to date you or ever take you serious. They might be there for you because they want to get laid, but realistically, everyone sees past that in a way. It's like, okay, well, I'm not going to date you because you're going to do that to me after. It's the same thing.
Totally agree. Number 4, saying things like, if I weren't in a relationship. And do you remember the story that I said of the guy who
in the
pulled
truck?
over? Yeah, in the truck. And he had said to me like, wow, you're so beautiful. Like, man, if I didn't have a girlfriend, like what I would do if I didn't have a girlfriend. And I was like, that is so fucked up that you even said that.
I think we're all human. We know when we see a pretty guy, a pretty girl, or like when we're sexually attracted to somebody. But at the same time, it's fine to think it, to look for a second or two, and then to like give it up.
Right.
I think if you're going out of your way to let the person know that like, man, oh man, if I was single, you would be my type.
Yeah.
It's like letting the person know that the door is open, and it's kind of testing the water. Like, oh, okay, so if you're okay with the fact that I'm technically in a relationship, then we could still do this thing.
Yeah.
Shady.
Yeah.
Right?
And also like the minute I get out of a relationship, just know
you're my type.
Yeah, you're my type and I'm available for you.
That's what
So
it's
fucked
doing.
up.
It's just letting them know that the door might be open at some point or right now, just depending on how you take it from what they say.
Absolutely. Number 5, and this one is going to be a debate. It's going to be a hot little debate. Maintaining contact with your exes. So continuing to talk to your exes, whether it's texting, calling, you guys are still in contact with each other. Do you think that's a form of micro-cheating? Yes or no?
Are you in another relationship when this is going on?
Yeah.
Depends what the context is. Did someone in the family die and you're just like reaching out because like they were around? But I think if you're going out of your way to still message them, there's unresolved issues there and the door hasn't fully been shut on one end and it's just not fair to the new partner. So no, it's not. Okay.
I absolutely agree. I think, again, like you said, it's fine if it's certain specific things that you need to reach out for that person for, which I totally get. And everyone who has been in a relationship understands that once you leave that relationship, there's always things that need to be sorted out, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, a year down the line, things come up. If you're like continuing to have useless conversation like, hey, what's up, how you doing, what's new in your life, that kind of stuff is just weird to me, because it's like, why are we watering a relationship,
watering a plant that's already been dead and that we've already both chosen to move on?
I have a new partner. Like, what do I still need to put energy into this relationship?
But people keep the energy there because they think, well, at some point, maybe if I ever wanted to get back, like we're still keeping that connection, if ever. But when you close something, you don't go in it with if ever. Like, okay, if you guys both leave each other and then find your way back to each other, that's one thing. But like normally when a plant is done being watered, you walk away from it and it dies.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you need to keep nourishing it.
Absolutely. And again, like the same thing with like just useless conversation. And we had spoken about this, like messaging happy birthday, just like seeking like conversation where there's no conversation to be had. I think it's so disrespectful to your new partner.
Absolutely. And like it's completely different when you're single. If your ex, like my ex wrote happy birthday to me this year, and that's totally fine. I'm single, I'll be polite, I'll answer. If I'm in a relationship,
what's the need?
It's just like you're no longer my priority. I don't need to. It's not my job anymore.
My thing is, okay, so why then? Like, why do you feel the need? Like, don't you think your ex-boyfriend will understand that you're respecting your new relationship? And like, is do you feel the need to continue to be in the best light for this person? Like, why do you feel that need to still have this good relationship with them? I'm not saying block them everywhere and don't answer their texts, but like, don't go out of your way to maintain contact with your ex.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's necessary.
I agree.
You know?
I agree.
So I definitely think that continuing to talk to an ex is for sure micro cheating, and it's just showing me that like you're not over something.
You shouldn't even be in something new, honestly.
Absolutely. Especially, and I know a lot of people that do that. Well, I don't know a lot of people that do this, but I do know certain people that like whenever they get into a fight with their current boyfriend, they'll like reach out to their ex and be like, oh, like, I don't know what to do about this. Like, I'm fighting with my boyfriend. And it's just like the last person on this earth you should be seeking
Any kind of validation from.
or like any kind of like advice from would be your ex-boyfriend, the person that your relationship failed with. Stupid idea.
It's so stupid.
Yeah. Okay. Number 6, flirtatious joking. So as two people who are jokesters and flirters.
Yeah, I know this one's hard.
It's tough, eh? It's tough, eh?
Yeah.
Canadian.
Is it like...
So here's... Do you want me to say my point of view, what you think?
Yeah.
So I always say this, by nature, I
Yeah.
think my personality comes off very flirtatious because I'm charismatic and I'm very like bubbly. So I think a lot of the times it seems like I'm flirting. I have this like flirtatious personality, which can sometimes be misconstrued. But I think flirtatious joking when you're saying certain things like, oh, wow, like your ass really got bigger. What have you been eating? Like shit like that, where I think it's like blatantly saying something but wrapping it up into a joke so like it's fine because I'm just kidding.
Right.
I think that's wrong for me. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I've had that experience where guys who had girlfriends would like say certain comments to me that I was like, if I was your girlfriend, I would not be okay with you saying that.
That's happened to me too.
But I don't have the ability to be like, you shouldn't be saying that because it's a joke, right? It's a joke where it's all fun and games, like we're just kidding. So it puts you really in this pickle where you're like, what you're doing is not right, but I can't say anything because it's disguised as a joke, and neither could your girlfriend say anything because it's disguised as a joke. But let's be real, you'd never say that in front of your girlfriend. Do you know what I mean? So I think those kind of things for me.
But wait, are they saying it in front of your girlfriend? Because sometimes they do that too. Do you think it's more okay if it's done in front of the girlfriend or not?
Even if I still think you're playing off the whole joke as to try and like,
if you're making jokes, you have to stay away from like sexual jokes too.
Yeah. And look, I'm a joke. Like, we both make a lot of jokes. We both roast people. And sometimes I'll say things that are, let's say, inappropriate, but it would never be like flirting on that person. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that you can't make a fucking dick joke, but I just think, what's your intention behind that joke? Or what's the intention behind what you're saying? Are you trying to let that person know that you're attracted to them? Are you trying to let them know that they would have a chance with you? Or like, I just think it's really weird when people do that. And it's happened to me a lot. And it makes me feel so uncomfortable because they try to play it off so friendly, so joking, but it's not
a joke.
It's not a joke.
I think it's weird when it's sexual comments. And also I think it's more acceptable if your person is in the room. I actually think it's worse if they're not.
Oh, for sure worse.
Because then you could slide by it by saying like, I wasn't even hiding it from you. It was literally a joke. You could really sell the point of like, I really wasn't trying to do anything malicious. But like still.
But like people will
just like people feel awkward and weird in that situation. And normally the person who's receiving the joke is in the weirdest position.
Weirdest position of all, for sure. Okay, number 7, creating a dating profile. Not using the dating app, but creating a dating profile.
I mean, no, your intentions aren't pure. You're obviously going there seeking other people. So it's one of those things where it's like if someone will open the door, you're going to walk in. Like it's like,
absolutely.
There should be no reason.
Totally
it's a different
agree.
story if you had it before you got in a relationship and then like it's been up and you haven't been using it. You should be getting rid of it. But it's like you're downloading the app while you're in a relationship. That's complete.
I almost want to say that's
actually cheating.
Yeah.
That's cheating.
I almost want to.
You're trying to see what else is out there. Yeah,
for sure. Number 8, telling someone you're single when you aren't.
Well, that's just disrespectful.
Well, I think it's micro cheating. You know, because why are you making it seem, unless and this is my only exception, is if it's for some kind of like business thing where
I was just about to say
like
that.
we all know that sometimes you need to play off a certain way to get something.
It's so
And
annoying, and I think girls deal with that a lot. It's like we feel a lot of the times we have to like maybe not speak about our personal life, relationships, just in order to get like something done.
Absolutely. And I think like for me personally, like if my man would have to like pretend he's single for something, for like a business deal or something, like I'd be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Because like I get that sometimes needs to happen. But if it's someone who's like trying something and it's not for a greater good in a way, and you're saying that you're single when you're not, I think that's fucked up.
Yeah, it is fucked up.
Because you're trying to plan a night, like even if nothing would happen, but I would find out that my man said he was single to someone, that would be enough for me to be like, this is,
look, I don't need my man to go to a party and say, I have a girlfriend, like fucking loser. I don't want to date you also. But like, I just think, you know,
I mean, look, if you're asked,
I think it's really cute when a guy will be like, oh yeah, like you're talking, and they find a way to throw it in if it comes in conversation and you see that someone's coming on to you. But I don't think straight out of the gates you have to be like, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I also think it's weird though when someone avoids
that's what I was gonna say. It's like there's like the avoiding part, and then there's the completely like, you're a loser, relax, everyone knows you have a you're in a relationship.
No, but I think sometimes people will blatantly say like, no, I'm single, but they're in a relationship. And then other times they'll be like, yeah,
they'll
like
dance
I was
around it.
Yeah, they'll be like, yeah, I was with my friends. Like, no, you weren't with your friend, you were your girlfriend. You know. And I think a lot of people do that more than just blatantly say they're single, or will just like avoid.
Yeah, because what you don't say, you're technically not wrong for.
Exactly. Number 9. Sending someone photos of yourself. So not nudes, but just like a selfie of you.
I mean, that's the same thing like sending a text, messaging someone all the time. It's actually even more like, look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Cheating.
Sure. Definitely micro cheating. Okay. Number 10, having secret friendships.
What do you mean by that though?
Like continuing to be friends with someone that I guess your partner doesn't want you to be friends with, so you have to like hide it behind their back.
See, like I would never want my partner to no longer be friends with anyone they had in their life before I came along. I think obviously the dynamic of a friendship changes when someone gets in a relationship, so that's completely normal. But I wouldn't want you to have to like not see someone because we're dating, so therefore like I don't want to have a relationship where it's going to be secretive anyways. But like if you're doing it secretly, it's probably because it's wrong.
Yeah. And like the way that I see it, obviously in a healthy relationship, you're allowed to have friends. And I would assume that if there's someone that person doesn't want you to be friends with, it's probably for a reason that's valid in a healthy relationship. So if you're doing it behind that person's back, and like sometimes you have to think like, what is the use of this friendship? You know, like why are you guys friends?
Yeah.
And why are you still trying to pursue this friendship if it makes me uncomfortable? Again, has to be in a healthy relationship, because toxic relationships will make every friendship bad. But just to say, like, you know, why do you have to hide it? Like there's obviously something wrong going on there.
I just don't think many guys at least would not want to fuck somebody they're friends with. Like I think like the majority of friends to a guy, they'll sleep with you. So like I think the intentions actually both ways, because even a woman, if she's really keeping like a guy friend in her life that she's secretly meeting up with, she's getting validation from him, she's getting advice, like it's all kind of wrong. And I think that goes with like not having a solid group of like friends you can turn to, like just being sketch.
Yeah, I agree with you for sure. Okay, 11, following inappropriate accounts on Instagram or other social media. So I guess like OnlyFans girls, like girls that are always posting like half naked.
I don't know. I don't think that's cheating.
If your man is following a bunch of girls like that?
If you're following those accounts before you met me, what, you're going to go?
No, not before. Just like going out of your way to follow them now.
I don't think it's like necessarily right, but I don't know how much like I would care. Realistically, like to that point, especially if it's somebody they don't know, like I'm just like whatever. But wait, did they say OnlyFans accounts or just like girls? Like what's inappropriate? Like is it girls that like are in the area that like are friends with me. Do you get what I'm
No.
saying? Like it's tough with that stuff. If it's people like they're never gonna know you exist, follow the fucking whole parade.
See, I don't agree with that.
I don't really
Like
care.
in my point of view, it's just like, why do you feel the need to like be like lusting after these girls? And like, and I'm not talking like
What
one
if you
girl
knew
you
them
follow.
though?
Like that's
but
like,
what if you knew them? Is that fine?
well, I think if like they personally know them, it's obviously fine.
Okay.
But if it's like random people, I almost find that weirder because it's like you're
Yeah.
like lusting after these girls that first of all you don't even know, and all they post is like half naked bikini pictures, like they're OnlyFans girls, like that's what their content is meant to do, is to be like sexual. And like, look, 1, 2, whatever, but like if you're following a bunch of these girls and I look at your timeline and it's all like half naked girls,
Yeah, for sure.
that
It's
tells me
alarming.
the kind of person
It's
you are,
alarming for sure.
because if you're looking on Insta, you're looking elsewhere too.
Yeah.
And it just tells me that if you could have that girl, you would take the chance. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that's my point of view on that,
I wouldn't go out of my way to follow when I'm in a relationship, but I guess it depends if I know the person. If I know the person or I've met them and then they're following me, chances are probably follow them back.
Right.
But if it's a random person, no, I won't follow back.
Yeah.
That's because I don't want them on my timeline, not because I'm doing it for anybody other than myself. You know? No,
Okay.
a few is okay. I think if it's excessive, it's alarming.
Yeah. Okay. Guys, spring has sprung. And you know what else gets sprung? Hopefully, your man or you, if you're a boy listening. And if you're getting sprung with your girl, then you know she wants a nice mowed lawn, if you know what I mean. So if you're not using Manscaped, then you're not giving your girl everything she deserves, because she deserves a smooth canvas, a hairless canvas.
Forget women. Do it for yourself, guys. Come on.
So join the over 2 million men worldwide that are also using Manscaped, because they are the best in below the waist grooming for men. You can get literally any product you need for your hygiene, whether it's a ball razor, a nose and ear hair trimmer, or even just shampoo and conditioner. You need to check them out and also use our discount code.
Chemical X at checkout to receive 20% off anything on their website. And if that wasn't enough, we're also throwing in free shipping. It's a non-negotiable to shave those balls. So head on to Manscaped and use our discount code.
12, giving your number to a stranger.
No.
Cheating. That's cheating. Micro cheating. 13, always commenting on or liking a person's picture.
I don't know. My partner is able to comment on my friends' pictures, but like it can be like, it depends what it is, in what context. If you're making a joke, no problem. Like, you know, whatever. Like it's actually showing that like you're getting along with my friends, which I like. You're like joining the group. But if it's like fire emojis, you're a fucking loser. Get a life.
But like fire emojis under a girl that like they both follow each other and she's posting a bikini pic.
No, that's not okay.
And what about just liking?
You
like,
know
bikini
what?
pics?
It's not even about like if I'm worried my man is gonna like go and cheat. It's more just like the image it looks on me and the people who are gonna see.
Yeah.
And like I don't know how many people would admit that, but it's like it's more the image that it's looking like for me.
Just tells me that you're trying to let this girl know that you have your eye on her. And
Yeah.
the same thing goes for me when it comes to liking pictures. Like, sure, you could like whoever pictures you want, you know them, whatever. But when it comes to like really like inappropriate pictures, bikini pictures, that kind of stuff, like, do I want my boyfriend liking that picture? No. Because why are you letting that girl know I think you're hot? Because that's what I find.
Wait,
that
was
is.
it liking and commenting?
Yeah.
Okay, liking and commenting are two separate entities. I'm sorry
Okay.
here.
Yeah,
Liking,
no, for sure, but-
liking is not the same thing as commenting. And like I know many people are gonna say you could like with your eyes and you don't have to like with your fingers, but for me, there's nothing wrong with liking pictures.
A bikini pic, everything?
I don't care. No.
Why? Why don't you care?
Because I just don't see there a problem. Like you're already following them, so it's not like you're not seeing the pic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
but the problem is communicating the fact that you like the picture to
but
that
it's
person.
Instagram. Like everyone does it. Like it's like, if I have the rule of like my man is not allowed to like a pic, then the same rules should apply. Then I shouldn't be posting bikini pics. That's how I see it. Because the same way I'm posting bikini pics, I'm essentially getting likes from other men. I feel like it's hypocritical to be like, by the way, like you can like other girls that you're already following. You can like their pics, but also I'm going to post bikini pics and like I'm also receiving likes from other men. I don't know. I feel like it's hypocritical.
I see your point of view, but for me, my opinion on that is I feel like it's a different exchange. Whereas like if I'm posting a bikini picture, I can't control if people are liking the picture, and whether it's gonna be guys or girls. Like I can't control who's gonna come and interact with me. But you can
But you're
control,
still allowing it.
yes, but you can control what you're going out and doing. So I don't care if my man would post a shirtless pic, a gym pic, whatever. That would not bother me at all. If you're getting likes from girls, that would not bother me at all. And I feel like that's where it's even. But I feel like if you're going out and liking pictures, you're trying to communicate something to that person. You're trying to let them know that you like that picture. And my thing is always kind of like, imagine you're on a beach, okay? If I'm wearing a bikini and I look good, I'm on the beach, I'm in a bikini, whatever, I'm walking around, I can't control that people are going to come up to me and compliment me or try to get my number. I can't control that. But what would be different is like if my man would go up to a girl in a bikini and be like, hey, you look so good, that would be crossing a line. Obviously I'm not doing anything wrong being in a bikini. I can't control it, but you can control your actions.
Hey, you look so good is the comment. I don't think the hey, you look so good is the like. That's where I feel like we're a little bit different. Like I think liking it with your eyes in person, staring at a girl, is the same thing like liking a picture on Instagram versus like going up to them and being like, hey, you're so pretty. That's the comment for me. That's unacceptable.
I see how like you see it that way for sure. And like I understand what you mean of like the comment. I just feel like in the same, like that's just my opinion when it comes to like the relation between like you posting bikini pics and someone liking a pic. Like I understand your point of view. My thing is just like I feel like you're doing the action by liking the picture, whereas I'm just posting the picture and I can't control what happens. I'm allowing it to happen.
Right. I just think it's hard to set all these rules, but then also like be the person who's like doing them. I think if you're gonna be the person who's like, you can like pictures on Instagram, you can't comment, you can't do this, then I also think you need to have a private account. You can be in the social media field, because realistically, if you're entertaining and you're in that world, like it's bound to happen. And it's like, it's hard to choose what's a boundary and what's not in a situation like that. Whereas like, I think like it's fine.
I don't know. I think the way I see is like if I could post bikini pictures, then you can post topless pictures and you can post whatever thirst traps you want. But if I'm not gonna go out and like
the reality
pictures,
is like men don't post like women do. So that's where it's like already not.
I mean, if you're like a hot guy, a lot of guys post topless pics, gym pictures, like, which for me is the same as posting a bikini picture. You're showing off your body. You're getting validation from people. I don't think it's wrong to get validation, but I do think it crosses a line for me to show someone else that you're interested in them and that you like that thing. Because I wouldn't go out of my way to like someone else's picture that I felt like was inappropriate, but I don't care to post a bikini pic the same way I wouldn't care if my man posted a topless pic, because I don't give a fuck. Like, these girls can like his pics all they want. That doesn't bother me. But it would bother me if he would go like a girl's picture that she's like obviously like, you know, half naked or whatever. So I think I'm just like very much relating both to each other. But I see the argument of being like, how can you do that if you can't do that? I guess in my eyes, it's just more so like the action versus the reaction. You know, I can't control the reaction, but you can control your action.
Yeah, I just think like then it's like if I also don't see the like on my guy's end and I know like that's a hot girl, then I'm also like still pissed at him because I'm like, he's only not liking it because of me. I'd actually prefer he just has the freedom of being like, yeah, like we're both agreeing it's a hot pic, he liked it, whatever, like it is what it is. I think like it doesn't really change much. I don't think a girl's DMing you because you like the pic. A comment, on the other hand,
would it change for you whether it's a girl he knows versus doesn't know? Like, what if it's a girl that like they're both following each other, it's a girl he kind of knows, maybe they were talking in the past, I don't know, she posts a hot bikini pic and he likes it? Does that bother you more than a random girl in a bikini? Because for me, 100% bothers me more.
It bothers you more if it's a girl?
If there's something there.
I mean, it depends like how strong my relationship is. And like if we have like that open enough communication where it's like, okay, yeah, well, like we're both just like, hey, it's a pretty person, like whatever. Like I just don't think just because a guy likes it that he's gonna cheat on you because he like likes the picture. You know what I
don't
mean? I
think
think as
either.
women too, we automatically assume the worst. It's like if they like a picture, then oh my God, they're unfaithful. And it's like, okay, well, you have to also have trust. You're both on social media, like you know what goes on, but also it's your intentions behind it.
Yeah, I think for me, when I see certain people that like all my pictures, you know, and I know that they have girlfriends and they're people that like I know or whatever, know of, and I'm seeing they're in my every single one of my pictures and my likes,
Yeah.
I just know what's going on there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm going to close it off with, so if the post shows up on your feed and it's happening day one, like you're just scrolling through and you see a picture of a girl and you like it, totally fine. Whether you have, I don't know, whether you guys know each other or not, I don't really care. If you're going on somebody's account and you're going to 2019 and trying to insinuate, hello, I'm here, I'm doing it in a sneaky way, I don't want my girl to know, so I'm liking a pic from the past, that's fucked up.
Right.
Because that's like you're trying to stand out
Yeah,
amongst others. Whereas like when you're liking a pic, you're blending in with everyone else. I don't know.
yeah, I
It's
see
like
that
whatever.
point of
Like
view.
I just liking the pic.
I think for me the boundary is like if it's your friend, don't give a fuck. If they have clothes on, don't give a fuck.
What
if
if-
it's something sexual?
What if like your partner is liking a picture of one of your friends and they're in a bikini? Is that fine or is that like
I think it's like whatever. Like I don't really care. I do remember
you
an
would
instance.
prefer like no
I would
though?
I would prefer like look, use your judgment. You know, like even
Yeah.
for me, like if one of my man's friends is posting something that's like very like thirst trap, like I'm just gonna not like it because I don't really want to give any sort of image, even if that's not my intention. I just don't want that to translate, you know. And I'll always remember a situation like with my ex-boyfriend. He had liked one of my sister's pictures that was like very like in like little underwear and like a sports bra kind of thing, like very like, you know, provocative.
Yeah.
And like I get it, you're supporting my sister, like you know
Yeah.
her, whatever, but I was like, it just feels weird that you're liking this picture regardless of the fact that I know you're not going after my sister. It's actually more so in this case for the public eye of like, why is my boyfriend in my sister's likes on this specific picture? That's where it for me felt a bit weird, and I was just like, maybe like, and I wasn't mad, I was like, maybe skip off on the next
Yeah.
one, you know?
Yeah.
Which I think is fair.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like a sibling or something
For
like
sure.
that. It feels weird and it looks awkward to
For
everyone
sure.
else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the same thing I think goes for friends. You know, if you're posting something that's like very excessively like sexy, it's kind of awkward if my man is in your likes. You know? Does that make sense?
But then it's like he's also just supporting. I don't know.
Yeah, but
Like
supporting
yeah.
them titties. I'm sorry, by the way, budget went low this week. We're at Naya, no Fiji. Next.
Well, the first one we like ish disagree with. But it's like I hear you too, you know? Like I don't want to live a life where I think so much into things, especially things that it's like I'm on social media and then it's like if I have to worry about your behavior, then I also have to worry about mine. It's like, look, we both have the hall pass. Like we'll like whatever you want. Just don't like cheat on me and be like loyal, you know, and don't comment. But like now I'm gonna have to start being like stressed on my end too. Like, oh, like what you want. I think it's just like what you give out is the energy you get in return. And it's like, if you're both able to do it and still have like a solid foundation, then like, I don't really feel like we need to have like the rules in place. Like you can't like a bit because it's a bikini, like whatever.
Yeah. I think for me, it's just like using your judgment and using common sense.
And I get that too.
And
I
that
get that
for me is like, you're not using your common sense if you're going out and doing this stuff. I don't feel like I'm someone who's very like ruly and like, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's just like, I do what I think is right and you should do what you think is right.
Yeah.
And if I do something that you think is wrong, just let me know and I'll like be okay with that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem is that I feel like a lot of people do lack common sense. So I think like, yeah, it's easy to be like, yeah, if you like it, whatever. But people are always excessive with it. It's always like they're fucking liking every single girl's picture or none, you know? So it's like, it's tough. I feel like a lot of people lack common sense.
But then it's like if the guy is liking every single picture on his gram, then for me it's even less personal.
Devalues, yeah.
It devalues because it's like, hey, he's just doing what he's doing it to everyone.
Yeah.
But it's like you don't like any pics, then you like a random chick's pic with a bikini.
100%.
Then
Not
it's like,
agree.
well, you guys are fucking.
Well, you're
That's-
cheating on me with her specifically.
Holy shit! There's a whole other life. You have a family with her and everything.
Absolutely. 14. Asking someone personal or inappropriate questions.
Okay, tell me what a personal question is.
I think for me, it would be talking about like maybe like sexual stuff. Like, oh, like, do you and your boyfriend like, you know, like how many times a week do you guys have sex? Even that's like, okay, borderline. But like just asking things that are a bit inappropriate. Like,
Whatever.
oh, like, do you watch porn? Like, do you masturbate? Like, and it's like,
As two podcasters, you want to come out here and
I'm
say that
not
we
saying
have
for me.
opinions?
I'm not saying for me, but I'm saying in general, like, if my man was out talking to a girl saying, what kind of porn do you watch? That would not side with me.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like that kind of inappropriate questions. Trying to get information, but like there's some kind of sexual gratification that comes behind questions like that.
I think if you're in a group setting and it's happening all together, it's fine. I think if it's one-on-one and the questions get really inappropriate, then it's like, what are your intentions? So
And
yes.
like, what are you getting out of this too?
But like, I'm honestly somebody who loves asking these questions to people. So like, it's hard, you know?
Yeah, but in a group setting, and also like I would never ask these things to people one-on-one. But also it's tough because like for me, I'm in the porn industry. Okay,
well,
like
it's even for me. I'm going to XMMA. It's like if I was in a relationship and like I'm there having to do that as my job. Like, what do you want to?
Just a tip. I'm out here saying, "Fucking,
Yeah.
would you suck a dick for money?" Like I don't know. I'm not saying anything. Like it's obviously different. I think if you're having a personal conversation with someone and it's very personal and like, you know, kind of like intimate, that for me feels really weird. I think like there's a certain level of intimacy that you shouldn't really cross with someone of like the opposite gender if you're in a relationship. I just think like, why do you need to do that? Like, and last point, number 15, turning to someone else for your emotional needs when your relationship is rocky. So like if you need a shoulder to cry on, if you need some support in some way, turning to someone else to get that because your relationship is not going so well.
Who are you going to though for the advice?
Not a friend. Like someone that you probably shouldn't be going to. Definitely someone of the opposite gender, like whatever.
We kind of answered this, right?
In a way, I think more so like complaining. We answered like complaining behind the back, but I think like
I mean, if your relationship is going to end anyways, like
I don't think end though. Like I think look, relationships
they go through rocky
rocky
roads.
Sexual like the sex life goes down and it goes up the same way with like your connection goes down and goes up. So like when you, for example, like my thing would be if I'm not satisfying you emotionally because right now we're not in the right place and you have to seek that out with someone else and like talk to them and be like, oh, this is how my day went. Oh, I'm having such a hard day. And like kind of like going to someone for like your emotional support because I can't be there for you emotionally just because we're in a rocky place just tells me that like, let's say
but then everyone's going to
sexually-
use that excuse as like, well, it's because we weren't aligned. So
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm doing it. It's like, I think
That's what I'm saying.
you can, but go see a therapist, talk to
a friend.
That, you know what the problem is, and this is what's really difficult, is that a lot of the time men won't feel comfortable talking to another guy about it because they just like never had that relationship. So sometimes it's hard for men to talk about emotional things with other men. Whereas like women, we have more of the
Support system.
we have more of the support system. Like we could just go talk to our girlfriends. I think that's why men tend to like have these talks with women that are not their girlfriends, because when they don't have their girlfriend to talk to,
they have to like
outsource. The
outsource.
pool of people they can speak to is really difficult, and I think that's why a lot of the times it happens to be with someone we want to fucking kill them for.
Yeah. And I get that. I think my only thing is, for me, if you feel the need to outsource when things are not going well, let's say emotionally, that kind of tells me that, okay, let's say things are not going well sexually, that you're going to feel the need to outsource again. You know, I think it's normal that things are rocky and sometimes you might not have the emotional support that you want and need, but it's okay for that to happen.
Yeah, in that case,
like,
what do you want them to do?
Well, I just think like you're going to work on your relationship and get to the point where you guys can be emotionally there for each other again.
Yeah.
And I think you're actually doing yourself a disservice by going to someone else, because now you're actually making your relationship worse and kind of making there no longer be a need for your partner to be there for you emotionally. You're just like replacing it.
And
Whereas
the thing
I think you
is
should
like,
work on
what
the
do you think's gonna happen when you go see somebody with a fresh pair of eyes? Obviously, they're gonna see it from your point of view. There's always 2 to 3 sides of a story. They're obviously seeing it from where you're hurting. So it's always gonna be the grass is always gonna be greener when you don't have that connection where like there's been angerness towards each other. So the answer you're going to get is always normally biased.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like,
And I also just think like you're patching, you're like I said, you're kind of making there no use for your partner to be there for you emotionally anymore because you're getting it from someone else.
that I don't know about.
Well, I just think like if you're always like trying to patch it and be like, okay, well, I'm not getting this from you, I'm gonna go get it from someone else, you're not actually fixing the problem.
Yeah, I just
that's
think
at
in that
hand.
situation you just need to be single because you need to work on communication more than anything. I don't
Yeah.
think it's like a partner situation because anyone who wants to fix something will fix it with their partner and just communicate it. So yeah,
I think it just scares me when people feel the need to outsource when they're not getting something. In a long-term relationship,
what if
things do change?
Like, I think you're looking at it from your eyes where it's like, I will be willing to talk about it. But like, what if you're in a relationship where you're really feeling like you're not heard, you tried, you've done everything, and like your partner's just not hearing you out, and now it's like you can't go to your buddies to talk about it. Who are you gonna go to? Like,
I mean, that's sounding like a relationship that should be over.
No, exactly. But sometimes that's what I think what's happening. It's like you're getting to the end of your relationship. And I think at that point you care a little bit less what your partner thinks because you're at a point where you're just like desperado for anything because you just need someone to talk to.
Right.
So I don't think it makes it right. But when you're at the end of a relationship,
I think in terms of fighting, but I agree with you. But I think when it's more so like you seeking out someone to like talk to and like be like, oh yeah, my day sucked, like this and this happened.
For
and,
sure,
like,
for
making
sure.
it more personal, like not even about your relationship, just like your personal emotional support that you're going to someone else.
Like my ex had like a girlfriend he can go and talk to, and that's fine because there was never anything there, so it was totally chill on my end. But like I'm trying to think if he didn't have that friend, like how much worse it would have been, you know? I don't know.
I mean, I think people always kind of, I also think it's not wrong to like wait, like the same way that like, look, like I said, like your sex life can go down. Just because your sex life goes down doesn't mean you need to start getting it elsewhere. You just have to kind of like work on your relationship and wait it out and push through and get to the part where it's good again. So I think the same thing can be said about like emotional support. Sometimes you're not going to have it fully. Sometimes they can be going through something and they're not there for you fully, but you have to just like keep being there, push through and get to the point where it's good again. And I think the wrong thing to do is to always right away try to seek it out of someone else because then you're not actually solving the issue and like, you know, seeing it through.
Yeah.
Because I think inevitably, like, it's everything in a relationship is going to go up and down. So whether it's emotional, physical, like whatever it is, shit happens like in everyone's life and you can't always control that and you just have to kind of adapt, you know?
Yeah. 100%.
But like if you're always going to people you shouldn't be going to, I don't know. For me, that like crosses
no,
the line.
absolutely. Absolutely, for sure.
And that's why, you know, in our last couple episodes ago, we spoke about having a good group of friends. I think this is another reason too, is like, in times like these, to have people to support you and to fall back on and to have a good group of friends just means like you have someone in your corner. Whereas I feel like when someone doesn't have friends and they lose that emotional support from their partner, it's like, again, like you said, who do you go to? Right? You have no one.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's tough. And I think that's why sometimes having a good group of friends makes you have a better relationship.
Absolutely.
I think moral of the story is if something feels wrong, don't do it. You know? And I think a lot of people will play off this whole like, yeah, but I didn't know this would bother you. And
they just play that off, that saying of I didn't know this would bother you. It's because they never had the conversation with you. So like they have that out to be like, okay, well, I didn't know it would bother you. And now I know. So now I won't do it. It's like get away with it until you can't.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Absolutely.
But like I think sometimes too.
No, sometimes too it's true.
It's true. It's like I didn't know. You know, if something bothers you and like you address it, it's really how they act afterwards. Like you have to give them the benefit of the doubt the first time. And I think men know that, and that's why they pick until they're addressed, and then it's like, fuck, now if I get caught, we had the conversation.
Absolutely. But it's so true. I think there's certain things like, look, you get caught once, it's fucked up. But also there's a lot of other things where it's preference, like a matter of preference. So it's just like, if I tell you, hey, like this is not cool for me in my relationship, and you still continue to do that, like that's fucked up.
Yeah.
You know?
So what do you consider not to be micro cheating out of what we said? The flirting one?
Again, everything we spoke about in a way was micro cheating.
Yeah.
There was like very little things that it's more so like the exact context of like, okay, if it's like this, it's fine. But for the most part, I think these things are just like not cool to do.
Yeah.
And the way that I always look at it is like, would I be down for someone to be doing this to me? therefore like it's not okay for me. Like I think that's the rule of thumb, guys. If you are about to do something, about to text someone, about to send a picture,
and you feel it's wrong,
not even feel it's wrong, just think, would I be down for my partner to do this to me? If the answer is no,
then you
don't
shouldn't be
do
doing it.
You shouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean? If you're about to delete a text and think, like it wouldn't be cool if you did this behind my back, you probably shouldn't be doing that. If you're about to send a text, if you're about to send a picture, if you're about to meet up with someone and you have like a reservation, like you probably should not be doing that, you know?
Yeah, and I also think it's really important to have communication with your partner because look, you can fall in the category of something burning you inside, pissing you off, and it's an easy conversation of I don't like you liking girls' pictures. And if they respect that and they just don't do it anymore, then problem solved. It's done. But like if you're burning inside of because they're doing something and you're also letting it like eat at you, like you need to even in a fun way play a fucking board game, ask them questions. Like I know you do that with your partner a lot. You go, well, if I do that, like would that bother you?
Yeah.
You know, like situational questions where you get to know someone a lot better.
Yeah.
I think helps too, you know, because it's like you know where you stand.
Absolutely. I think like that's a fun part about like the beginning of the relationship. And I guess like anytime it's just asking questions, getting to know the person. Like I know we ask a lot of questions about that person. Like we'll be like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? Whatever. Like we get to know them. But I think it's also important to get to know who someone is in a relationship and what their boundaries are. And I don't find it bad to ask questions like, hey, would it bother you if I did this? Regardless of the fact that if you're going to do it or not, just like, I think it's fine to ask. Like sometimes I'll even do something and then be like, do it a certain way how I want to do it. And then be like, hey, would it have bothered you had I done this differently? I've already done the thing and I've already used my judgment to do it. But just to have better context of like, did I make the right decision? Or like, what's your opinion on this? How do you feel about this?
Yeah.
Maybe you care, maybe you don't care. But just to know what you think. I still made my decision and what I thought was right. But I'm like curious to know what your opinion is, you know? That's something that I do a lot too. And I think it just... understanding someone better and asking these questions is just going to solve so many issues for you. Whereas like you're not going to run into issues of, you know, I didn't let you know that I don't find it okay when you like other girls' pictures, you know?
I think, yeah, a lot of the times it happens because you don't let someone know. If they're willing to lose you because they don't want to change certain things, which we all know a relationship is compromise. So if you're not willing to make those changes in order to be in a relationship with me, then you're not the person I want to be with anyways. And like even me as like chill as I am with certain situations, there's other things that to other people would be like, okay, well, who cares? And that bother me even more. Like it really depends, you know? So
Absolutely.
like you're never gonna get someone who's like chill in every area, you know?
Absolutely.
So
and I totally agree with you. Like if you're not willing to make even the smallest changes, like even like guys who this whole like debate over like should like the picture or not, bro, if she doesn't want you to like the picture, just don't like the picture. Like it's that simple to save your relationship.
Yeah.
If it bothers her, and that's it. Just fix the behavior.
And if you have to ask yourself if it's bothering him so much, then you know that there's an intent behind the like.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, and there's a bigger picture there. If it's such an issue to not do it.
yeah,
you know, I totally agree with you. And I think people just have to have like better understanding that maybe what doesn't work for you or works for you doesn't work for someone else. And like the same way that you're like, you're chill with it, I'm not chill with it, but like that's fine, you know, like both things can exist. And like if we were in a relationship together, we're like clashing views, but it's like at one point someone has to win in one way, you know?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It is what it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode on micro cheating. If there are any other ones you want to add to the list, please comment them down below. And if there's like a lot of worse ones, please, we would love to chat about them in our next episode. So
absolutely, guys. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a comment down below. We love you.
don't forget to go get our new merch.
See you next week.